Everyone knows Jackie Chan as the smiling, funny martial artist who does his own stunts, the guy who makes action look fun. But what most people don't know is that Jackie Chan's life has been anything but fun. He was abandoned by his parents, sold to an opera school where he was beaten daily, told he'd never be successful because he wasn't Bruce Lee. He nearly died on set multiple times. And when he finally became the biggest star in the world, he discovered fame came with a price he never expected to pay. This is the real story of Jackie Chan. Not the persona, not the movies. The brutal truth about what it took to become the most beloved action star in history, and what it cost him. Jackie Chan was born Chan Kong Sang in 1954 in Hong Kong. His parents were so poor, they almost sold him to a British doctor at birth to pay their hospital bill. They changed their minds at the last moment, but barely. His father was a cook. His mother was a housekeeper. When Jackie was 6 years old, his parents got jobs at the American Embassy in Australia, and they left him behind. They enrolled him in the China Drama Academy, a Peking opera boarding school run by a man named Master Yu Jim Yuan. They told Jackie they'd be back soon. They weren't. Jackie wouldn't see his parents again for years. The China Drama Academy wasn't a school. It was a prison. Students trained 18 hours a day, 7 days a week. Acrobatics, martial arts, opera performance. If you made a mistake, Master Yu would beat you with a bamboo cane. If you cried, he'd beat you harder. Jackie was beaten almost every day for 10 years. He's talked about this in interviews. Master would hit us if we were half a second too slow, if our stance wasn't perfect, if we showed weakness. There was no mercy. The students slept on the floor in one room. They ate whatever scraps they were given. Many kids ran away. Jackie stayed, not because he wanted to, but because he had nowhere else to go. By the time Jackie was 17, his body was covered in scars. He could do backflips off walls, fight with any weapon, take hits that would hospitalize normal people, and perform for hours without stopping. But the opera was dying. Nobody wanted to watch traditional Peking opera anymore. Master Yu closed the school, and Jackie, with no education and no other skills, had to find work. He became a stuntman in Hong Kong action movies, the lowest job in the film industry, expendable, replaceable, paid almost nothing. Jackie's first break came when Bruce Lee died in 1973. The Hong Kong film industry was desperate to find the next Bruce Lee. Jackie was cast in movies with titles like New Fist of Fury and The Dragon Lives. They styled his hair like Bruce. They tried to make him move like Bruce. They wanted a clone. But Jackie couldn't be Bruce Lee. He wasn't as naturally charismatic. He wasn't as fast. And he definitely wasn't as cool. Every movie he made flopped. Film executives told him, "You'll never be a star. You're not Bruce Lee. You should quit." Jackie was in his early 20s, completely broke, living in a tiny room, doing stunt work for a few dollars a day. He seriously considered giving up. But then something changed. Jackie realized he'd never succeed trying to be Bruce Lee. He needed to be something different, something new. Bruce Lee's films were serious, intense, cool. What if Jackie made action movies that were funny? Everyone told him it was a terrible idea. Action movies were supposed to be serious. Martial arts masters didn't do comedy. Jackie didn't care. He'd been told his whole life he couldn't do things. He was going to try anyway. In 1978, Jackie made a movie called Snake in the Eagle's Shadow. It was different from anything Hong Kong had seen. Jackie's character was goofy, clumsy, but could fight when he needed to. The action was incredible, but it was mixed with genuine comedy. The movie was a massive hit. His next film, Drunken Master, was even bigger. Jackie had found his formula: comedy plus incredible martial arts, plus jaw-dropping stunts. But here's what that formula required. Jackie had to actually do those jaw-dropping stunts, and he had to get hurt, badly, repeatedly. In Police Story, 1985, Jackie slid down a pole covered in live electrical lights. He burned his hand so severely, he couldn't hold anything for weeks. In the same movie, he crashed through a glass structure. Real glass. He nearly died. In Armor of God, 1986, Jackie jumped from a wall to a tree branch. He missed. He fell 15 feet and hit his head on a rock. His skull cracked. Part of his brain was exposed. He needed emergency surgery and has a permanent hole in his head. The doctors told him if he kept doing stunts like this, he'd be dead within years. Jackie was back on set 2 weeks later. Why? Because this was all he knew. He'd been trained since age 6 to endure pain, to push through injury, to never show weakness. Master Yu had beaten that into him, literally. And also because Hong Kong audiences expected it. They wanted to see Jackie actually get hurt. That was part of the appeal, knowing that the stunts were real, that Jackie was really risking his life. By the late 1980s, Jackie Chan was the biggest star in Asia. But he'd broken almost every bone in his body. His stunt team had a running joke. Jackie will try to kill himself, and we have to figure out how to film it. Jackie tried to break into Hollywood multiple times in the 1980s and early 90s. Every attempt failed. American studios didn't know what to do with him. He didn't fit the cool martial artist mold that Bruce Lee had created. He was funny, goofy, didn't speak English well. They cast him in terrible movies, gave him no creative control, and then blamed him when the movies flopped. The Big Brawl, 1980, failed. The Protector, 1985, failed. Jackie was told again and again, "You're not right for American audiences." He went back to Hong Kong, frustrated but determined. He kept making movies his way. By the mid-1990s, his Hong Kong films were so successful they were getting limited releases in American Chinatowns. And then something unexpected happened. Word of mouth. Americans who saw Rumble in the Bronx or Super Cop in these limited releases went crazy for them. They'd never seen anything like Jackie's blend of comedy, martial arts, and insane real stunts. Hollywood noticed. In 1995, they re-released Rumble in the Bronx wide in America. It was a surprise hit. Suddenly, at age 41, after being rejected by Hollywood for 15 years, Jackie Chan was an American movie star. Rush Hour in 1998 made him a global superstar. Finally, after 30 years in the industry, Jackie had made it in the West. But the cost had been enormous. Here's what Jackie Chan doesn't talk about much in interviews, but has admitted over the years. He was almost never home. He made 2 to 3 movies a year, spent months on location, and rarely saw his family. His son, JC, grew up barely knowing his father. Jackie has admitted he was a terrible husband and father. He had affairs. He was absent. When he was home, he was often angry and distant. the result of decades of physical pain and emotional trauma he'd never processed. In 1999, Jackie had an affair that resulted in a daughter, Etta. He publicly disowned her. To this day, they have no relationship. Jackie has said in interviews he regrets this, but has never attempted to make amends. His relationship with his son JC deteriorated. In 2014, JC was arrested for drug possession in Beijing. Jackie publicly stated he was ashamed and refused to help him. JC served 6 months in prison. The man who was beloved by millions for his warm, friendly persona was cold and distant with his own children. Why? Because Jackie Chan the person and Jackie Chan the performer were two different people. The performer was created in that brutal opera school, taught to smile through pain, to never show weakness, to sacrifice everything for the performance. Jackie never learned how to turn that off. Today, Jackie Chan is 70 years old. He's made over 150 films. He's one of the most recognizable people on Earth. He's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. But his legacy is complicated. In recent years, Jackie has become increasingly aligned with the Chinese government. He's made controversial statements supporting censorship and dismissing Hong Kong's pro-democracy protests. This has alienated many of his Western fans and caused protests in Hong Kong. His personal life remains troubled. His relationship with his children is strained or non-existent. His body is broken. He's had so many injuries that he needs help walking some days. He's admitted he's in constant pain. And yet, when you watch Jackie Chan on screen, you still see that smile, that joy, that sense that he's having the time of his life. Because that's what he was trained to do. Smile through the pain. Perform no matter what. Never let the audience see you suffer. Jackie Chan is one of the greatest physical performers who ever lived. He revolutionized action cinema. He proved that martial arts movies could be funny and still be exciting. He opened doors for Asian actors in Hollywood. But he also represents something darker. What happens when you're taught from childhood that your worth comes from enduring pain? When you're trained to sacrifice everything, your body, your relationships, your happiness, for the performance. Jackie Chan once said in an interview, "I'm not a good person. I'm a good actor. There's a difference." He was being honest in a way most celebrities never are. The Jackie Chan we see in movies, the warm, funny, relatable hero, is a character he's been playing for 50 years. The real Jackie Chan is a man who was abandoned by his parents, beaten for 10 years, told he'd never succeed, broke every bone in his body proving people wrong, became the most famous action star in the world, and discovered that fame couldn't fill the emptiness inside him. His story isn't a simple rags-to-riches tale. It's not a pure inspiration. It's complicated, messy, human. Jackie Chan showed us that you can smile through anything if you're trained hard enough. But he also showed us the cost of that smile. He gave everything to entertain us. His body, his relationships, his peace of mind. And we loved him for it. But maybe, just maybe, we should have asked if the price was too high. Jackie Chan will be remembered as a legend, one of the greatest action stars who ever lived, a pioneer, an icon. But behind that legendary smile is a man who paid for every moment of our entertainment with pieces of himself he can never get back. That's the real story of Jackie Chan. Not a hero, not a villain, just a human being who learned too young that love and approval had to be earned through suffering. and spent his entire life trying to earn enough.